So as we all know, I am behind on flip throughs. So sorry, mess. So today I thought I would do a flip through of my reading / media journal. Now I will let you know that I am very behind on this. And I have changed what I do or how I do things in this. And I'm not doing this next year. Well, not this specific one. I am doing a reading journal next year. Media journal. Just most of the media I consume is books. So let's just get into it. So my reading goal is to read 200 books. So my mini goal is 100, which is what my Goodreads goal is, but I'd really like to get to 200. So I've just created boxes to colour in. It's the colours is based on month, so it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and then there's 4 for August, and I have read more than 4 in August, and then obviously read some in September as well. So that's behind. You're just gonna have to. But we're pretending it's March, remember? So it's fine. Actually, I am psychically very ahead. 10 non-fiction is January, February, March, April. I've read 1 in April. I read 2 physicals, and then this is my A to Z, so I just still need to do those 4. But again, we're only in March, so it's fine. These are my anticipated releases, and then what I do is for the coordinating month. So blue was January, and I read Onyx Storm in January, so I'll just colour it in when I've read it. A lot of these I still haven't read. I think I might have read. Did I read The Rose Bargain? No. Rose and Chains I read. I've read Sunrise on the Reaping now. And that's it from that page. And that seems to be it. Oh, I've read that. I read that's the second that came out. I read that. I've got a list on Excel of the books coming up. I just know sometimes when you get close to the time the days change, so I hadn't filled it in, but I can update that. This is my stats page, which I like. I feel like I want to add more stats, but I'm not sure what I could add. Like maybe genres, because I read mostly romance and fantasy with some thrillers sprinkled in. Romance, fantasy, thriller, other, maybe. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a 5-star whore, apparently, because I have had quite a few 5 stars. 9, 10, 11, 16 out of however many books I've read. And my NetGalley TBR went down, and then back up. Really need to work on that figure. Again, my ebooks. I've read I've read ebooks. Okay, maybe I haven't read ebooks. That's I've got 50 more ebooks than I did have at the beginning of the year. So that's great. And then my one to read 902 to 948. Yeah. Need to finish this. Did the first 3. Haven't even picked a winner. Probably a next stop. Between these 2. I did really like Carabelle though. It's one of these 3. Sorry. Yeah, January, February and March. Book club reads. I can add more to this now actually, because we have started picking more books up. This is my book series tracker. I have finished Believe Me and I've finished A Court of Silver Flame, so that can be pulled in. And again, the colours correspond to the month. And then I've stopped using it, so that's good. TV series tracker, again, they relate to the month, and again, I apparently stopped using it because I finished like, and what's green? March, yeah, finished that in March, but it's actually still March, so actually I can do Parenthood. Let me add Parenthood. What else? On Vikings / Valhalla, because we'll probably move on to that once we've finished Vikings. Okay, so then here is my Q1 to be read and to be watched. So I marked off what days I read it, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I finished 6 within actual Q1, and then I finished another one after. And I really want to get to this, but I feel like it's a commitment. To be watched, I did really bad. I seem to have watched the series, and I didn't even watch that in the time. Except I didn't even start Yellowstone, I still haven't, and I didn't watch any of the movies. So that's. I think I'm going to be continuing this into next year though. How do I do monthly? I haven't decided between doing monthly or quarterly. This is my January calendar, so basically, for example, Bride is this dark bluey purple, and I just highlighted the days that I was reading it. Squid Games, I was watching it there, and down here. No, or is that? Oh, yeah, all of these were Squid Games. Oh, and here. And this one was the traitors. No, that was Take a Movie. What was the traitor? Yeah. Anyway, basically, I haven't got enough colours for how much I watch. So I'm going to be changing this up next year. Pages read, so obviously it's just for the book. So Bride is the blue, so it should be days 1 to 8 there. And at the beginning of the year I did not read much. You can see like the first few days, and then it got more as the month went on. Well, like mid-month. This is my favourite spreads to do. So this is my monthly media. So it goes actually in finished order like this, and it's basically just a little printout of what I finished in that month. And then we've got my stats page. So I read 14 books and watched 7 telly things. So that's movie and TV shows merged. 8 audiobooks, 5 ebooks, 1 physical book, 2 movies and 5 shows. 7 5 stars, 8 4 stars, 4 3 stars, 2 stars and no 1 star. So 5 stars is anything from 4.5 to 5, and this is like 3.5 to 4.5 basically. And then my average rating was 4.15. I read, the genres, 13 out of the 21 things were fantasy and 11 were romance, which means that some could be fantasy romance. Things have got a bunch of genres obviously, and then my overall favourite character was Zayden Rising. If you've read Onyx Storm, you'll understand. If you've read any of them actually, you'll understand. And then basically I do like a mini review on all of the media. So I write when I finished it, I write either how many episodes it was, what the runtime was, or how many pages it had. Then I rate it out of 5 areas, which is character, atmosphere, which is basically like the vibe, the plot, my enjoyment and the dialogue. And most things get this written, and then I've done like a little how I felt about it, and then the mini star rating. So, like for example, this one, bad guy had the same number. If you've not read Squid Game, just don't even. Bad guy had the same number, W1, so 001, so felt like it had the same plot, just different games, and the games weren't even as good. Loved that. And then I've done like a little summary here. So books vs TV, I read 2 books and 3 TV things. Average rating was 4.2. Best character, Tigger. And then genres was thriller. I think I classed that as a thriller. Romantasy, action kids, and that's a fantasy apparently. But that's also kind of action kids. Here's my ratings for these. I reread Fourth Wing and 10 out of 10 for everything. Loved it. I love you, Liam. I think Liam might have been beat Zayden if he, you know. Iron Flame reread and leading up to Onyx Storm. The Traitors. Leanne did not deserve to win. They were all really greedy at the end. Yeah, that really pissed me off. Best character, Zayden. His Dark Materials, Butcher and Blackbird, loved that. That was so funny. My Vampire Plus One, really enjoyed this. That got 5 stars from me. So funny. So excited for the new one, which I think has just come. It's either just come out or it's out this week. Well, next week. So that's exciting. Wanted to love this more. Really enjoyed this actually. And then Leather and Lark, which I did not enjoy as much as Butcher and Blackbird, but I liked Lark more. And then what I was doing is drawing the book covers, which let's see how far I got with this. Oh look, 3, 4. Oh, there's one missing. Oh look. I did another one because that one felt easy, and then didn't. Oh, and then I did another one, and then just haven't. So I've left the space for them. Oh, I did these too. It looks so good. Like, I really wish I'd bothered to do it. And yes, it is only March. But I just don't think I'm gonna go back and do them. And then here is February, which I have not finished. Again, February, which I have not finished. But I finished this bit because I like this bit. I think there's a little bit more. Yeah, a couple more than I had the previous month. And Love Island really annoyed me because why is it so fat? Stats, as you can see, did not complete. Is it too late now to do this? Stats won't actually take me that long, so I might. But as soon as the month's over, I'm like, move on. His Dark Materials, was that his first season? Oh no, that was the last season. So don't read if you haven't read it. XOK, I feel like this was season 2. I need Kitty to get her head out of her ass. Yes. We Live in Time, this was when we went to the cinema, and I would have cried at this if it was in timeline order, but timeline jumps kind of like, I don't know, like they kind of just wind me up. And then I started my Shatter Me journey, which you will soon figure out how much I enjoyed this series. And then so my favourite character was Mino because obviously love it. There's the next 3 books. Best character, Kenji. Yes. don't hate me, but I got 3.5 stars. Maybe not. Moana, 5 stars, loved it. Another Shatter Me book. A Court of Mist and Fury, 4 stars. I actually quite enjoyed this one. It felt like the pacing kept going rather than me attempting this book for the 3rd time. And my best character was Rhysand. That will change. I was under Feyre's Fog. It's just loved this. I know I'll give it 4.5, but it was very close. So close. This like made me start disliking love triangles. This book I wanted to love more than I did, and it felt just like porn. Minions can't give anything but 5 stars. Man on the Inside really surprised me. Actually, I give that 5 stars because I absolutely loved everything about this. I loved Ted Danson. I thought it was so funny. But the best character was the villain, because he is Bear. I love him. Apprentice to the Villain. Again, my best character was the villain. And I finally finished the 2nd book in the Wheel of Time because I'm trying to read them before we were watching the show, and then they've cancelled the show, so my boyfriend was like, there's no point in even watching it. And we went to watch Brave New World at the cinema, which I really enjoyed. He didn't, but I quite enjoyed it. It made me like, oh look at all these that I've drawn. Oh, look at all of them. At least I stopped using my sticky tabs. And then we're on to March, which I'm very shocked that I A, drew the calendar, and B, have actually wrote out everything. Haven't filled it in though, so that's not a surprise. It's ready, it's just not been done. But I did read/watch a lot more. I think last month we were up to maybe here. Yeah, we were up to here, so I've done 4 more. And look how I love this. I just think it looks so good. Which I will be doing this next year, I think. I don't know. Didn't fill out my stats. Surprise, surprise. I'm actually quite surprised I've blurbed these, to be honest with you. Scythe and Sparrow, I think that had recently come out then, and I loved Rose so much. She is so funny. Ace of Betrayal was an arc, and apart from the cheating, I really enjoyed this. What the heck is this show? That was, yeah. Belladonna, the first 20% really bored me, but then after that, I absolutely loved it. Girl in Love, it was like pretty, like gender swap Pretty Woman, but also felt like a kind of like the writing was like infantile to me. Like, yeah, I read the 2nd one though. Teach Me. The dialogue really pissed me off. I don't know why. It just yeah. Caraval, 5 stars. Don't know why it took me so long to read this. The Weight of Blood was just Carrie with racism. I wish the ending was different. I think that's what annoyed me the most, because I was quite enjoying it and quite enjoyed making the comparisons. I just wished the ending was different. Kiss Countdown, except from the first half, except from the 3rd act breakup, I quite enjoyed this. And then Julian Santos as the best character from Caraval. Oh, and this is all books. There was no TV. I watched one, did one TV last, yeah. This is when I was on my Alexa and Katie binge. So from the 15th, the 18th and the 20th, I finished 3 seasons. This book just left so many questions. And I really liked the premise of this book, but it didn't fully deliver. Like, it felt like it was missing something. And the best character is Katie from Alexa and Katie, because she's the best friend that you could want. Then I read some more of the Shatter Me series. So Kenji just swoops in. And A Court of Wings and Ruin. Again, don't read that if you really like that series. But I did give it 4 stars. And then I finished Alexa and Katie. So yeah, it took me like 2 weeks to watch the 4 seasons. It's really good actually, I quite enjoyed it. We watched Gran Turismo, which I liked the gaming aspect, and I must admit it's not my type of movie. But we did do some Googling afterwards, and it just kind of followed a true story, which is fun. I've only wrote romantasy, but that is not romantasy, that is romance. But then I read some more Shatter Me. And I read A Court of Frost and Starlight. So I was talking about A Court of Frost and Starlight, and my camera just stopped recording. Apparently it did not like that I was about to slag off Farah and Reese. But that is pretty much the end of my book anyway. We've just got those pages and then these two, which Temptation Island I shouldn't watch things like this because it just pisses me off anyway. And then the Baby Dragon Cafe was so cringy. I just, every time they said Drago, I was just like, ugh. And again, I think I talked a little bit about Sarah Adams, and I just quite enjoyed that, so I do want to read more of her books. And then I just talked about how I just haven't bothered. Again, I've left space for them and I just haven't bothered with them. So that is a common theme throughout the rest of this book. So if you want to see more reading media journal content, I will post that. Thanks for watching. Bye.